I think a lot more people actually like me than don't. And I think a lot more people hate you.
I know you are, but what am I? Now, it's funny that, like, Donald Trump has come into office now, and he promised to secure the border. And what has he done for the border? Anybody want to take a guess? Nothing. He's not done one thing for the border. Our country has gone $40 trillion in debt because of one group of people and one group only. Who's that? The motherfucking worst in this country. That's right. But that's what we're here to do. We're here to stop this, and we're ending MAGA. Hit the like button and subscribe on your way in if you haven't done so already. This is Elon Musk, and this guy, Donaldo Trumpo, says, boom, like this is something great that he heard here, but it's actually not. And I say here at the bottom, literally nothing that he said ever happened. You got to love this because we've seen these types of videos and these types of things, but listen to what he says, and I'll explain later.
You support not just the populist right, but the far right, in fact, very fringe parties.
Absolutely not normal at all. They're radical right people. That's what this is that we have to deal with in this country, and he's become one of them.
Yes. Literally, you could go back 10 or 15 years, and these policies were completely normal.
Completely normal. What are they, Elon? Let's find out. Happen. I've yet to ever see a video like that, and many of you guys have seen many. Like I just said in the comment that I left there, literally none of that has happened. In fact, it's the opposite, where people go up to people and they go, hey, can you believe that Joe Biden said this, that, and the third, blah, 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 blah. And they go, oh my God, can you believe that? Like this guy needs to be put in a hospital. Oh, wait, hold on. I'm sorry. Hold on. Wait. Actually, that was Donald Trump that said that. I'm sorry. It was Donald Trump. Like, can you believe Donald Trump said that? And what do? Well, he's a good person and at heart, and he didn't mean it like that. And they explain their way out of it, and they make up the excuses for Donald Trump once they hear that it was Donald Trump that said it and not Joe. We've seen that video over and over again. Not the same one, many different times. We've seen videos like that. But that dingbat is telling his people that that's happening on the other side. Like it's not happening. There's nobody playing or saying things that Barack Obama said that is like, oh my God, Trump said this. Can you, oh, wait a second. It was Obama. And then the people go, wait a second. No, that's not true. Barack Obama, and they make excuses for him. That does not happen. There's never been a video like that ever. I watch a lot of shit, bro. And I've never seen that video, but I've seen countless of videos of people setting up other people with things that Trump said, pretending that it's somebody else. And then they reveal, oh, wait, this was Trump that said it. And then they turn their tune like that. It happens all the time. But let's continue. This is Elon Musk, one of the dumbest people on the planet.
Well, actually, that was a speech by Hillary.
I agree. No, I agree that the center of gravity in this country has shifted. Certainly, the Democratic Party shifted to the left. But that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about people like Rupert Lowe. I'm talking
right,
about
please.
people.
It's actually just normal people. It's just normal people. It's just normal people. And and here are the principles. And tell me which of these sound terrible.
Let's find out.
That we should have secure borders.
Yeah, we probably should have secure borders. Except, what is it that happened in the last election? Anybody remember? In 2024, in all of 2024, what happened? Anybody want to take a guess? There was a reform bill for immigration put forth in front of the Congress, the entire Congress, Senate and House of Representatives, 3 times. 3 times. And guess who voted against it all 3 times? The motherfucking Republicans. That's right. They're the ones who said no to it. Now, it's funny that, like, Donald Trump has come into office now, and he promised to secure the border. And what has he done for the border? Anybody want to take a guess? Nothing. He's not done one thing for the border. Now, people like the MAGA DUMs in my audience, they're going to be like, well, what are you talking about? Nobody's coming into the country. That's not good. Scaring people to death to make sure that they don't come into the country, that's not a good thing, right? On top of the fact that the country that has literally been built on immigration and nobody wanting to come to this country anymore is not a good thing. But we do need immigration reform. There was a big, gigantic bill that was going to pay for a whole lot more judges, more officers, equipment, the whole 9 yards to facilitate this much faster so that people who are going to court right now trying to do this the right way, legally, then getting arrested when they come out by ICE, illegally, by the way, those people will be facing charges and justice sometime in the future. But this is what we're talking about. They call that immigration reform. That's not immigration reform. Nothing, and I repeat, literally not one thing has been done for immigration by this regime. Not one thing. But let's continue. I mean, you can't make this up, bro.
That we should have safe cities.
Safe cities. We had the lowest crime that we had in decades since, ever, during the Biden administration. That's what was going on, in fact. But they told you that it was crime-riddled streets left and right, when we, in fact, the statistics showed that we had the safest streets that we have ever had during the Biden administration. That's what, in fact, happened. Let's continue. I mean, everything he says is a complete lie. Listen.
That we should have sensible spending.
Sensible spending. How about that? Like I can't let the guy speak without having to pause him. What about sensible spending? Since the 1980s, our country has gone $40 trillion in debt because of one group of people and one group only. Who's that? The motherfucking Republicans. That's right. That's who has gotten us into this massive debt that we're in. And I'm going to tell you how they did it, right? Number one, they created this thing called the trickle-down effect. What did that do? Trickle down to nothing, right? Nobody got anything. What ended up happening was the richest people on the planet did nothing but get richer, keep all the money to themselves, and make themselves more and more rich. We see it now. I told you we only have $2 trillion, right? I mean, $170 trillion in this country. We got $2 trillion of it to the bottom, 90%. Where's all the money gone? It's gone to the top. It didn't go down to the bottom, which is trickle down. It went to the top. Now, what the f is that called? Trickle up? Because that's really what happened. And then on top of that, they continued to, throughout the rest of the decades, every time they were in power, I don't think that Herbert Walker Bush was able to get another tax cut passed when he was president from 88 to 92. But then Bill Clinton gets into office, and what does he do? He raises taxes, not on you dummies, the MAGA that are in my audience that think that Democrats are taxing the poor and just like leaving the rich alone. No, what they did was they taxed the rich appropriately, like the way they're supposed to. And then we ended up coming out of debt and going into a surplus. That was the last time we were in a surplus, because what happened? Walker Bush, the son of Herbert Walker Bush, becomes president in 2000. And what does he do? Throughout his 8 years in office, he gives the richest people on the planet 2 tax cuts. And then we promptly go back into debt by trillions of dollars. We go into what's called the Great Recession, which is, again, another Republican thing that happened to us because of Republican rule. And again, Walker Bush was in charge. He was the president, right? His tax cuts led us right into this deep, deep, deep recession, so bad that they call it the Great Recession. And then Barack Obama comes back into office, policies that bring us out of the recession and into all-time highs. And then what does Donald Trump do? He comes right back into office. And then what does he do? He puts us even further in debt, spending $8.3 trillion. And promptly, in the first year of office, in 2017, giving yet again another tax cut to the richest people on the planet, sinking us further into debt, spending $8.3 trillion, the worst that the world has ever seen when it came to how he dealt with us during the pandemic, denying it, calling it a hoax, the whole 9 yards, spreading the virus all over the place with his goddamn speeches that he was doing while he was campaigning, and putting us further into lockdown. Instead of 3 to 6 months, we end up going 18 months. And not to mention, while he's doing all of that, he makes a deal with Saudi Arabia to stop oil production from coming out of Saudi Arabia, so that his oil buddies who came to him and complained that they weren't making enough money and that oil prices were too low, so he tells them to stop producing so much oil, or he threatened them with taking away protection that the United States does for for Saudi Arabia. And what ends up happening, we see oil prices skyrocket over the next 2 years. It was a deal that lasted for 2 years. And what happened in 2022? 2 years after his goddamn agreement, at the tail end of it, we saw prices with a war that was erupted by Russia attacking Ukraine and the shortage of supply because of the deal that Donald Trump made Saudi Arabia do. We saw oil prices skyrocket, and we saw gas over $5 and $6 throughout the entire country. And they say that was Joe Biden. Literally, all these things were done by Donald Trump. That's in fact what ended up happening. And then we had to pay through the nose for gas and all kinds of different products and services because of that. And now here we are, and he's another Republican back in office, and now we're even further in debt. This is all because of Republicans. They're the reasons why. I mean, you can't make this up, bro. I swear to God, these people are the dumbest people on the planet. This is Elon Musk being interviewed by the same woman. And listen to this.
This man who has all this power, he's the world's richest man, he thinks he has a right to influence our politics. It makes people, it's why, we started this conversation saying superlatives. It's why people loathe you.
This is funny. So watch this. This is going to be, it's not because Elon Musk is funny. It's because of how I'm going to make fun of him.
I mean, some people do loathe you.
Yes, some people do.
But do you understand why? Do you think what you're doing is helpful for Western democracy?
Can anybody here watching me right now, can you guys imagine how loved this guy would be if he was helping people? He doesn't help anybody at all. He's trying to get more and more money for himself. That's the only thing that Elon Musk cares about, right? But can you imagine how loved this guy would be if he was actually doing good in the world? He's not doing any good whatsoever. Not one thing at all has Elon Musk done for anybody. And she's telling him how much people hate him. And what is his response? Listen to this.
Maybe some people do loathe me, and that's probably true. I don't care. But the fact that, as you pointed out, 250 million people follow me is that I think a lot more people actually like me than don't, and I think a lot more people hate you.
I know you are, but what am I? He resorted to I know you are, but what am I? He went to the "I know you are, but what am I" defense. Instead of answering the question and dealing with the problem and trying to reflect, he went with "I know you are, but what am I" defense. You cannot make this up. This is what they do, bro. I swear to God, they don't know what to say. Listen.
And the media, more than you realize. Do you realize the media is despised? Do you realize that journalists, the view of journalists is like. It's like a favorable view of journalists is like 15%.
I do know that in the United States.
So the shoe is on the other foot.
Now, what he's doing there is the reason why we have such a problem with people loathing the media, as he says, right? People who don't like the media, there's only one group of people that doesn't like the media, and that's MAGA. They're the only ones, right? And the reason why is because they're told to. And that's what they do. They do as they're told. That's why I say, you can see here, what does it say on the bottom of my screen? MAGA men are cucks. And that's exactly what they are. And they do exactly as they are told now, don't they? Right, MAGA men? Please tell me about how terrible the media is and how they lie about everything. What do? If they tell the truth, number two enemy, right? About Donald Trump and what he's doing and what his behaviors are and what his actions are for the day, they think that that's fake news, and they don't like that. They don't like when they're being told what's going on in real life. They don't like the facts of the matter, the number one enemy of MAGA, right? This is what they do. This is why I say MAGA men are complete and utter cucks, bro.